give you pretty much the basics of fertilizer. Again, when you're doing anything, you always want to do your research. But I'm going to give you a little bit of starter on fertilizer, okay? Remember, fertilizer is food for your food. So you want to make sure that you're giving all the nutrients to your plants so you can have all the nutrients and be big and strong, like your plants will be. All right? This fertilizer is pretty much a base fertilizer. It's granular. Um, you know what I mean? It's a solid, it's granular. Really don't want to touch it with your hands, but you know, it's like chicken poop composted and baked up, so all the stinky stuff is gone, and it's really just the nutrients that's left over. You know how life is, it's a cycle. So, we eat, it's supposed to go like this. We grow, we eat, we digest, we eliminate, we put it back into the soil, then it grows for us again, and it's a cycle. That's how it goes. If you really know how that really works and understand that system of nature, you can get something going pretty well that's infinite. That's how all this works, this beauty. All right. So this is a solid, again, this is a solid fertilizer here. What I have here is fish emulsion, and that's also a fertilizer. This is from like fish, pretty much like composting. All the parts. You hear about fish from the omega 3s and all this nutrients that fish gives. Well, also when it breaks down, it gives off the nutrients that a plant needs as well. So that's why a lot of people will use fish emulsion. This is a liquid, and it gets to your plants faster because it's a liquid. Okay, this says here that you want to apply this maybe every 3 weeks because they'll use it up faster because it's a liquid. The solid type of fertilizer, that actually, it's like a slow release. So it'll break down and break down. What you want to pay attention to on your fertilizer are these numbers here. This is representing how much nitrogen is in there. This is representing how much, I believe it's phosphorus and potassium. Sometimes you'll see it represented as NPK. And those are the symbols of the elements on the periodic table, if you remember in chemistry. Okay? This fish emulsion, so that 511, those are the percentages of nitrogen, of phosphorus, and of potassium. 5% of nitrogen, 1% of phosphorus, and 1% potassium, or what they call potash. Okay, so for this one, you would pretty much just probably want to start your plants with this to build up the nitrogen content, to build up the vegetation, to build up the greenery, for your plants. If you want to flower something, if you want big like results, probably the last number you would want to be, the highest. If you're concentrating on that, like say like your tomato plants, or anything that has a fruit or a vegetable or whatever that comes off that's not the leaves. Okay, if you have root vegetables like beets, turnips, stuff like that, the one in the middle was probably the best, and the one at the end too, because that will promote good root systems for the plant. And as you know, a turnip, potatoes, and all that stuff, those are the roots that we're eating. Okay? So, what you want to do is know what these things stand for. That first number, the N, for nitrogen, that's going to give you your green, your leaves, your plant growth, the vegetation of whatever you're growing. So the N, nitrogen, you want to make sure that your plant has enough of that. There are plenty of diseases out here for plants when you see the yellowing on there, that they're deficient in nutrients. So if you find that in your plants, then you want to make sure that you get a fertilizer that has that number, that first number being the highest, which means it's going towards building a stronger nitrogen base for whatever that plant is. All right. The second one is uh, phosphorus. And phosphorus, I believe, look it up, is for root growth. Root growth, um, so it gives you strong, healthy roots. Okay. Um, the third one is for your flowering and roots also, and that is the K, which is potassium. So, depending on what's going on, in the beginning, you want kind of like a balanced fertilizer. So, that means that all of your numbers are kind of even kill so that it'll give all the nutrients that it needs. Now, that's not the only nutrients that are in there. Look on the back of your bags or your bottles or everything. There are trace minerals, just like trace minerals in the body. You know, there's zinc, there's magnesium, and there's all types of other different things that your plants need. But the main ones to make sure that you get what your plants really need are those three numbers. So if you're starting something, you might want something that has like a good root base and a good um, nitrogen base. Okay, um, yeah. So that's just a little bit of the basics of it. You can get more in depth into it, and of course, when you go and do your studying. Because what I like to promote is I want to teach you these things, but I also want you to start thinking for yourself. I want you to come up with ideas and creativity so that you can go and be the best and probably be innovative and teach the world something. All right? Okay, we're getting it together. You know, all day. This is how we living. It's being sustainable, making sure that we can live off the earth and the land that the Most High put here for us. So we don't have to go and be um, slaves to go on spending money on things we don't need. Now is a time to go within and understand that we need to be a little more sustainable and respect Mother Nature. In that, she will respect us by giving us what we need. All right? So, be good to yourselves always. All right? And I'll be back with some more tips, more gardening tips and everything. Give me an email. You can send me a message on Instagram at grown underscore woman underscore bassist. Um, my Facebook name is Sequoia Tree Roots. Um, Sequoia Tree Roots. Pretty simple, all one word. You can come there and send me a message if you have a question about something with your gardening. I'll be so happy to answer it as best I can. If I don't know, I will go research it for you. But I definitely urge you to research for yourself because that's what this is about. Self-knowledge, self-governing sovereignty. Um, be able to be self-sustainable. But we help each other as much as we can. And all of y'all are my family, and I want everybody to eat. So let's get it, all right? I love y'all. Peace, love, blessings from the Most High.